Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. There we go. Episode 1549. It is Saturday. It is the weekend. What is happening? It's kind of lemon lime. It's kind of it's a weird. Today's going to be a weird day because I'm completely caught up on shipping, uh, which is weird. And I'm not doing a live today. Now tonight I am. But I cleared my Saturday. My wife says her mom is gonna get a new rug. Adventures with rugs. It's like she gets a new rug every 2 years, and it's a shit show because she'll see it. Pictures are a little different than what in reality. So she'll order the rug, get it delivered. I go over, we unroll it. Well, we move furniture around. We unroll it, put it down. Doesn't like it. So we have to roll it back up. We have to move the furniture back. Da, 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 da. Now, this one's a little more intricate. So we had a rug in our living room upstairs, and it was an expensive rug that got pooped on because we had a puppy. So we ended up having to get it paid to be cleaned. And my wife's like, I don't want to do that. I suggested, let's not have expensive rugs with a puppy. And so we rolled it up. It's in our basement. It's down here now. And rolled up. And it's a pretty cool rug, color wise. So my mother in law liked it. She's like, I'm going to buy a new rug. Like, well, maybe I'll buy your old rug. So my wife says, so we're going to take it over. And I'm like, oh, you know how this is. I can predict what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. It's a fucking heavy rug too. It's a big rug. We're going to carry it upstairs, put it in the back of a car, haul it over there, move furniture, unroll the rug. Your mom's not going to like it. We've got to roll the rug back, lug it all the way back down into the basement. It's going to be wait. And then next weekend, we're going to have to do the same. Actually, no, not next weekend. It's the Madison Card Show. But at some point, we're going to have to do this all over again because she's going to order another rug. My wife says, I already knew that was going to happen. So she's going to come over and look at it first. I'm like, okay. Now, I know what's going to happen. This just adds an extra step. Notorious MIL is going to come over. She's going to come down to the basement. She's going to say, oh my gosh, you need to clean. And then she's going to look at the rug. She's going to be like, yeah, I like it. Because she's seen it here. She's like, yeah, I like it. And now we're going to haul it up. Repeat. She's not going to like it. So stay tuned tomorrow morning. We'll see how this all plays out. So that's the plan. So I told my wife, I'm like, well, I basically cleared my Saturday for Rugamania. And she's like, well, so here's what's going to happen. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I will sneak in a live. And she's like, well, no, you don't have to. Like, I do have one tonight. So I am going to do 2 tomorrow. I don't know if I scheduled both of them, but tonight, 7 Central, Wax Weekend, all unopened packs. I think I've got everything listed now, and it's uploaded. So you can go to click the link in the description, and you can actually see what packs I have. There may be a few surprises, but I wanted to get loaded pretty much the good stuff so people can see it. They can mark it. This is also a good way to get new sellers onto the live platform where they can see it. And this actually happened my very first eBay live. I preloaded the first several lives. I preloaded cards, which is good and bad. And I had somebody come in. They stuck around because they were waiting for a Michael Jordan phone card because they don't come up too often. They got a deal. I think they sell for around $20. I think he got it for like $12. So he was happy. I was happy. I'm like, yeah, $12. I think I paid $1 for it. So that's the benefit of preloading, so people can see. There's, especially with rare items, because if I throw like a 1980 Topps baseball pack, those go for under comps on eBay Live. Those sell. I probably averaged around $50 a pack on those. I put them in my store as a buy it now, and they sell within 24 hours for $75. So we'll see. And depending on where they sell, if they sell for $75, even 70, 65, I'll stomach that. And because I've got probably a half a box still, maybe a dozen, maybe a third of a box. So I'll keep rolling them out. If the first one sells for like $45, I'm not going to throw any additional. So what I did was, like 1980, I have numerous packs of those. I've loaded one, and then I've got like 100 wild cards, shell listings. So it's like 84 Donruss. I've got one pack listed. I've got 8 total. So we'll see how those go tonight. And it's funny with packs. 80 Topps, average sale price, 50, 25 below comps. I can sell those all day on Buy It Now. Less than 24 hours, they move for 75. eBay Live, they've gone as cheap as like 40. I think I've sold one pack. One pack went for like 130, which was a nice sale. I've had a couple others sell for around 80, $90. Maybe one hit 100, but for the most part, maybe my average is closer to the comps now that I think about it with those 2 or 3 bigger sales. But anyway, Wax Weekend is tonight, 7 p.m. Central, eBay Live. Link in the description. Like I said, I've got 80 Topps baseball. I've got 84 Donruss. That was just a happy little surprise. I found 8 packs in a box in that green tub behind me this week. I've got junk wax, and that's the surprising part. The 91 Fleer that sells for $10 to $15 a pack. That's like, let's keep it going. And I was talking with my buddy Steve. We were texting back and forth this morning, and that's, he was talking about his live last night. He's like, yeah, everything sold for about comps, which is good. And that's kind of what, like my vintage night on Thursday, pretty much everything. I think when you average it out over the course of my entire sale Thursday, everything sold on average sold for comps. Were there some stuff? Was there cards that sold for under comps? Absolutely. Were there cards that sold for over comps? Absolutely. And what I found is the higher dollar stuff sells for under comps. The lower dollar cards sell for over comps on an average sale. Now, there's outliers. Sundays, crazy. I don't know what Saturday nights. We'll see how tonight goes. Saturday nights can get crazy, where Robin Yount 83 Topps sell for $9. That was actually a daytime sale, that Robin Yount sale. So we'll see how things go this weekend. Tonight is Wax. Tomorrow is going to be all requests. I think what I'm going to do this morning is put lots together. Lots tend to fly. And it's nice when I put lots together, it's nice to get the higher dollar sales, and it might only be $10. But if I put the 10 singles together, they might only sell for $1 or $2. So I'm basically getting, in one transaction, I'm getting that $10 sale, which is nice. And I'm getting rid of 10 cards instead of 1. And what I plan on putting together is stuff that I got for pennies in that bulk buy last week in Janesville. So Wax Wednesday tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow I'll do probably a blitz sale. I think I've already assigned it, the blitz tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central. And then tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, Sunday night singles, which is always a little crazy. We'll see how things go tomorrow night. So that's my eBay Live talk. What else is going on? So yesterday was what did I do yesterday? Oh, I went made some more money out of the storage unit yesterday. My regular, and I love this customer because he comes every week, spends about $80 a week, and buys junk wax. I mean, he buys $80 worth of 1990 Fleer and 91 Upper Deck, and I love it. That's what he wants. And he takes home for $80, you can get a lot of junk wax out of my storage unit. So he doesn't even look at like my quarter boxes. He's like, no, I want 80s and 90s stuff. So he gets like, I think he bought a 90 Fleer box, a partial set of like 92 tops. And I just charge him for like the small boxes of $5. Binders, $10. He usually buys a few binders. So, and I had some good stuff because I wasn't taking the time. The last Goodwill pallet was probably the last one I'll buy. It's just, there wasn't much good stuff in it. There certainly wasn't any high-end stuff. Now I'm still in the black, obviously. And pretty much, if it's the average pallet, it's still good, but it's these crappy pallets that really put a poor taste in my mouth on the pallets, where it's like mostly junk wax. And this was mostly junk wax. This is like when you think somebody's buying Goodwill pallets of sports cards, what do you think? It's filled with 88 and 90 tops and 91 Fleer and that bullshit. And that's what this one was. Now, I found a couple Cal Ripken Jr. rookies, plenty of Shaqs and Jordans. But again, those only, get you so far. I'll probably break even because I've got a box that I haven't even brought in from this. Actually, I brought in a stack of cards like that I found when I was waiting for one of my buyers at the unit. So, and I sold the Ripkins. But yeah, it's going to be, it's not going to be, the good thing is I'm not selling buy it now. So it's not like I've got a list and then wait for it to sell. I can just be like, oh, here's a Cal Ripken, boom, sold. Here's Michael Jordan, boom, sold. So that's a good thing. Michael Jordan is an interesting case on eBay Live. I can sell singles of NBA. I can sell singles of Michael Jordan on eBay Live for like $10. And we're talking like dollar Jordan cards. I put a 10-card lot together. They sell for like $15. It's crazy. I did that. And I've done that with auctions where usually like in my buy it now store, I'll put them in my store for like $2.50, sometimes $3, sometimes $4. I put a lot together and it sells for like 50 cents a card on auction. And I could usually get about $2 on buy it now. It's just the Jordan. It's crazy. Lots don't sell, but singles do. And it's kind of like the Bowman prospects and like hot names. They'll sell for a few bucks a card, but I've sold like a 10-card lot for like $150 of like Bowman rookies, base rookies, first Bowmans. Now that's one of those nights where everything was kind of bonkers, but it's just every show, every stream is unique. And it's very interesting coming from a statics. I'm still very new at the live selling. It's just very interesting. I didn't really dabble in auctions. I did auctions from when I started about this time last year. It's like, you know what? I've got so much stuff. I've got stale inventory. Let's run it. I've got those. And I know a lot of people like, well, I have 500 listings a month for auctions. I'm just going to run stale inventory. And what I learned was I was wasting those auctions because a lot of the stuff wasn't really moving. Now, it did provide a nice boost to my bottom line because I was able to make some sales on the better stuff. Even if it went for $1, that's an extra $500 that's selling, and it's not just sitting in my store waiting to be had. So, and I think that was my gateway. That was my gateway drug to live selling. Like, okay, now you're telling me, okay, I don't have to wait 7 days. I can sell right now. And also this YouTube channel. I started doing live sales on my YouTube channel, the bargain box sales. And I was selling, here's what you get. It's like, wow, I just made $2,000 selling bargain box cards, boxes of bargain boxes, basically. It's like, okay, this live selling thing could work. That's just on my YouTube channel. What if I'm on a platform like Whatnot or, eBay came along? So anyway, I talk a lot about eBay Live because it's my life. That's all I do now. It's all I do. Although yesterday I did storage unit. storage unit, and then came home and shipped. Ate some lunch, shipped. What did I do in the afternoon? I got stuff ready for the Madison Card Show. So Madison Card Show is next week. It's next Saturday. Alliant Energy Center, 250 tables. I finally got confirmation. We added an extra premium booth. Those are all spoken for. I had a waiting list, and they're like, we'll take any table, even the expensive tables out front. So those sold. I had 4 tables, an extra booth. Actually, there were 6 tables. Those sold within a couple hours. So next Saturday, Alliant Energy Center, 256 tables. There's going to be, for vendors, there's going to be a slight change in the and Tom, I think East Coast Tom's with me. Once I get confirmation on this, Tom, you'll be the first to know because I don't even know yet. But there's going to be a slight change on registrate check-in, I guess is the better term to use. Check-in. We're going to have a different check-in process that's going to be a little more easy for all parties. So I just got to get confirmation on. I wasn't too clear. I'm not as I've only been to the venue a couple times, so I'm not as I don't know the venue as well as I know the Sheraton. Like the Sheraton, like, oh yeah, I know every part of the Sheraton pretty easily. Still getting to know the Alliant Energy Center. We're in our honeymoon phase, so going to be a slight change to that. Once I get all of the information locked in, hopefully by Monday morning, I'll get an email sent to all the vendors, so you are aware. We'll likely have a second admission gate because there's going to be there's 2 events going on, so parking is going to be where most people, if there's one event, you just park in the main parking lot out front, and then obviously if that's gonna fill up. It almost filled up our last show, just with the card show. With another event, it will fill up. So there's the south parking lot. I've got to get all of that down. So there will be, I think, a south admission gate. So, and that's why we're gonna switch things up. So parking is $8. Again, I don't control that. That's the Alliant Energy Center. So if you're upset about that, you can contact them. Admission is $5. That is my cost. If you're pissed off about that, you can talk to me. So that's next Saturday, Alliant Energy Center, Madison, Wisconsin. So I do have the layout. So I've had a few people that did not vend at the June show reach out. Hey, do you have the table numbers, locations? That pretty much, I need to give it one more once over. I thought I had things streamlined. I don't. Even through the website, I haven't figured out. I figured there was a way to and there might be. I've got to look further into my website to okay, here's a spreadsheet, get me the contact information, because right now it's pretty tedious. I'm spending a lot of time going through this, but I mean, I spend a lot of time anyway. So anyway, next Saturday, Madison Card Show. Last night we ordered sushi, and so we put a TV into our we have like a 3 seasons porch, I guess is what you call it. And 2 years ago, it wasn't even finished. It was like the last thing we had. There was a bunch of issues with the city and with the permits. We had to make multiple change. It was a pain in the ass. The city was total pain throughout the whole building process. So there were a couple different things that we had to get changed. First thing, it was like a firewall, and then there was, I can't remember what else. Firewall was a big issue, and then there were electrical was an issue, and then something else. Oh, we had to change the design, the steps, because it was you have to have a concrete block at the bottom of the steps, and we had the steps going straight out. Well, we didn't have enough space to put a concrete block at the end, so then we had to do a landing and then the step. Oh, it's pain. So anyway, So we didn't use it that first summer. Last summer, we used it for storage, basically. And then finally, I think maybe toward the end of last summer, my wife started, furnishing it. And it's like, man, it'd be nice to have a TV out here. And that was always the thing. Like, we're going to put a TV out here. And I would go out and work. And I'd put a movie on my laptop and I'd work on my laptop and just have the movie going. I'm like, man, it'd be awesome to have a TV out here. And it might get more use than my e-bike. And so we just kind of went back and forth, like, because it is outside. It's outside with a lot of windows. So there's a lot in the summer. There's a lot of humidity. In the winter, it's cold. It's not heated. It's not air conditioned out there. So, what type of TV do we get? Do we put like a shelf out there and set the TV out, and then in the extreme conditions we bring the TV in? Well, that's a pain in the ass. Do we get an outdoor TV? Those are expensive. So it was one of those things. So it was just kind of like, we're probably just not going to put a TV up there because we don't really want to deal with either option. So I came home. It was actually the June Madison Card Show. I come home and my wife's like, I bought an outdoor TV. I'm like, oh, it was like Christmas morning. So, and then the issue was mounting it. We had, I think, 3 different people come over, like just friends. And they're like, I don't know. So then we ended up having the guy who built the porch. He came because he knew one of my friends couldn't find the studs because it was based on, I don't know. We were using 2 different stud finders and it wasn't like really accurate. So Ben, who built the deck in the porch, he put it on and it took him like 5 minutes. I'm like, are you serious? So last night we had sushi. We ate outside on the porch and watched Jeopardy. And then my wife watched one of her shows and I'm like, it's really nice. So I went and just off the porch, we have our deck, laid on the little couch out there. And it's like, I went inside. I'm like, it's really, it's peaceful outside. And I'm like, this is like it feels like a vacation, like a little vacation cottage, because we've got the three season porch. We've got the deck, it's new, we hadn't really done this before. So it's kind of new and we just have to walk back inside to our house. So it was a very peaceful night. No shipping, no live selling, just a peaceful night. I had a few beers. All right. Welcome to the weekend. Let's say hello to the chat. Red Light 34. Good morning. He's in the crane working the weekend. East Coast Tom is here. Good morning. Royals 417 in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe is here. Good morning. Cooter's here. Good morning. Rugamania, get ready. It's Rugamania Day. Charlie's here. What's going on? Happy Saturday. Jody's in the house. Good morning. Kyle is here. Good morning. Bradley says NFL preseason miserably ends today. Yeah, the Bears had their game last night against the Chiefs. I turned it on like I was going to bed and it was still on, so I watched a little bit of it. It's preseason football. It is miserable. Preseason football is just miserable. Kyle's in the house. He says, I assume no NASCAR in the most recent pallet. Actually there's a couple. Tonight I'm gonna have some there was some unopened stuff. There was a small box with just some random not even packs. I think they were I'm probably just gonna lot them together because it's NASCAR. So tonight on eBay Live, it's gonna be a shell listing. I got to make sure I brought them home. They might be in my car still. I think I did put them in my car. But that was it. There's been 0 NASCAR since 2022. It was the first year of pallets. It was oh my gosh, it's half the pallet was NASCAR. And since then, there's been no pallet, no NASCAR, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. But I know you want the NASCAR. John says, when the pallet is worth more than what's stacked on top of the pallet. Right. That's kind of where we are with this. John says, I have some NASCAR in my latest collection buy. Cold sores are more appealing to the general public than NASCAR cards. NASCAR collectors are rabid, but they are tiny in numbers. I assume anyone collecting NASCAR already has every Junk Wax era card. Yeah, it's like, what is it? Tracks, 1990 Tracks or whatever. Menendez brothers denied the market is crashing on Mark Jackson. Yeah, I had my my buyer, my Junk Wax buyer yesterday. He's like, I got home, I was going through a box, I got pretty excited. He's like, I found the Menendez brothers card. I'm like, really? Usually I pull those. So it was probably a box that I hadn't gone through. So because I pull those. Cooter says, for someone who has collected for a while, including players, lots are not attractive because I have 9 of the 10 Buster Posies, for example. I might bid the single to $5, but I won't bid the lot to $6. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. For players. And sometimes like lots, and I think I don't know what, like the one lot that went crazy. I had a lot of, it was like a first Bowman Nick Kurtz and a rookie card of Jacob Wilson and Jacob Miserou. So it was like hot players. And it sold for like 10 cards for $150. Like that's $15 a card. And even at the peak, a Jacob Mizorowski paper first Bowman was not $15. So it's I mean, I think that's the same as, that was probably a night where a base Michael Jordan dollar card went for $25. Like, I think there's just times where you get people in the room that it only takes two. It only takes two to tango. When you get two people that are willing to spend anything and they don't care, things go for high prices. That's also what I like about live selling. I had 12 people in my room the other day on a Wednesday afternoon, made $500 in 2 hours with 12 people in the room. And that's just run. All right, I'm not going to run the good stuff. I'm just going to keep running 1983 Topps cards, and people, bid those up. Like $2. But you get a $4 here, a $5 here, and all of a sudden it adds up. Cooter says, just finished weed eating. A shower and a 300 table card show awaits. How about that? I really let my backyard. I talked yesterday about my gardening issues. I went and I just looked. I honestly just want to rip my garden out because it's the cucumbers is so depressing. This is the first year, I think. Now, there might have been the year we moved in. I didn't do a garden because we were, did I do a garden? When did we? Oh yeah, because we moved in here in July. So I didn't do a garden at the old house, and we didn't have a yard here. I got a mosquito bite on my. I was sitting outside last night. So yeah, 1 year I didn't do a garden. Big old mosquito bite. It's itchy. I know you're not supposed to itch them, but it feels so good. Anyway, so this is the first year I've had a garden that is just so. Now I've gotten tomatoes. My tomatoes have been good. My pepper plants are doing really well. I've never had a good season of produce of peppers. I've never had a good pepper production until now, but everything else has sucked. Tomatoes have been good. I've been getting some good tomatoes. Cucumbers, I've been able to pull a couple cucumbers that weren't diseased. And there might be a couple out there right now that I can pick. But it's like, damn. Dan's in the house. What's going on? John says, Dan wants to know when the meetup at Shoeless Joe's is. Cooter says, it's the corn sweat, not the humidity, that kills TVs. There you go. It is. Kyle says, I will have to try to catch the eBay live tonight. John is correct. We NASCAR collectors have multiple sets and unopened wax of early 90s Max and Tracks. There you go. Ziggy, what's going on? Good morning. John says, Cooter could get trade value out of the other 9 cards in the lot, more than that dollar delta. At me, Cooter, if you need help. There you go. Ziggy says, do you get any customer chargebacks or refund requests? Yes. And I think it's probably, I will say this, since automatic payments went into effect, very few. Every once in a while, I'll get I think the biggest, and I'm going to use air quotes, the biggest problem, and it's not a problem, is I don't know what I bought with the shell listings. Like auction number 1, Saturday Night Live, eBay Live. There's no like, what did I buy? So, if I've already shipped it, I don't know, because I don't keep track of it. You got to go back and watch the recording. Now, I did make a mistake. There was a sale. It's like, hey, I do have one item to ship. And I had to reach out and I'm like, hey, I can't locate your item. Did you change? And this, for me, this is an issue because I can't believe how many people change their eBay username. I mean, it's crazy. Like I will have multiple in a week, multiple every week of users that change their name. Now, I think they change their name because eBay assigns a name, and it's usually based on your like real, like mine would be like Bo T or something. It's not that, but like BE1258, and you can use like BE. Oh, this guy's name is Bo, and usually I can figure out how, oh, this is, I only have 2 cards left. It's like, well, that's easy to figure out. But if I'm going through, it's like, oh, I know who this is. So usually I can figure it out, but sometimes it's not as obvious. So I had this one this week, yesterday, and I had to reach out and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying to locate your item. Did you change your name? Because I have a couple, and some of them, maybe I have 2 items that are unaccounted for. And I just assumed that they weren't paid for. So I reached out and he's like, no, I didn't change my name. So I had to go back, and because this is on my end, my problem. I went back, and fortunately it was like, I think it was the first auction, or it was one of the early auctions. So it was pretty easy. And now with the new way to list auctions through the platform, it's super easy, especially on the back end. Like I can see, like, oh, he says he doesn't know what he got on auction 22. You can go back and look, and you're like, well, your auction 22, here's the link. Or if it's my fault, I go back and I watch and I ended up finding what it was. I'm like, okay, so now I can get it shipped out. And I probably misplaced it and put it into somebody else's package. I don't know what happened. But in terms of chargebacks and refund requests, since automatic payment went into effect, very few. I'll get refund requests every once in a while, but for the most part, once that payment, it's good to go. Now, before automatic payment, it was a big issue. June, I had a ton of non-payment was the biggest issue. Some refund requests, but it is no different than regular. In fact, I'm having less issues with chargebacks and refund requests, less issues on live in much higher volume than less issues than I was with auctions. I'd run 150 auctions a week or 200 auctions a week, and had more issues with refund requests and non-payment and all that than I do with live selling, where I'm doing 1,000 a week. So I would say since automatic payment went into effect, and I know some buyers don't like it, but man, I love it, and I do not want to go back to the alternative. John says Cooter has oil money. Dan says, just when I don't want to spend any money on hobby stuff, 2 different of 10 Burleys pop up. Very nice. Ziggy says, as a seller on live, would you be a buyer on live? Yes, absolutely. I think it takes discipline to watch and learn. I watch a ton. I watch a lot of eBay lives just to get ideas, just to see what the competition is doing, and maybe to get some deals. Sometimes it's difficult to find deals on live. But if you go to those smaller, it's kind of like you can get great deals on live. When do you look for auctions ending? like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. There might be some good auctions ending, on the standard 7-day auctions. That's sometimes when you can get good deals on auctions. When do you think you can get good deals on live? When are people typically not watching? If you're available and can watch at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. By the way, here's a tip for buyers on live. Mondays during the day, you can get stuff for super cheap, especially if you go into some of the smaller channels. So there you go. My tip for the day, buy on eBay Live. I don't know about Whatnot or District or any of the other platforms, but on eBay Live, stuff goes super cheap on Mondays. So check that out. Got 2 days. So I've only bought a couple things on live stream. I bought a couple things on Whatnot, and I think I've only bought one card on eBay Live. A lot of the stuff is stuff that I can't flip, because obviously I'm going to flip it on eBay Live. Now I can go to eBay, I can go to Buy It Now and auctions, and I've bought a ton of stuff. I used to source most of my slabs from PSA on eBay. I would buy slabs from PSA on eBay and sell them for 3x on eBay Live. Now, that's kind of dried up a little bit. I'm not getting the results that I did, so I'm careful with what I buy on slabs. But, there's sourcing opportunities everywhere. John says you need to be like Zach. Have 2 houses so you can have a garden at one and not worry about vegetable moisture at your main residence. I wish. Wouldn't that be? That would be dope, man. John says, pro tip, they sell everything at a supermarket yeah, but it's so much cheaper at a grocery store. I want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on soil and fertilizer and water and wait 3 months for my vegetables. John says a lot of refunds are due to USPS. Yeah, I'd say most of the refunds are because I didn't get it. Very few in my store are due to customer unsatisfaction. I've definitely had more neutrals and negatives selling on live. And sometimes it's by condition. It's like you can see the card. Those are the ones I don't understand. It's like I'm literally showing you the card. And it's like it had dinged corners. It's like, were you like closing your eyes during the bidding process? Like, what the hell? I don't know. How do you handle buyers who insist you owe them a throw-in card? I ignore them. eBay Live sellers are getting inflated prices for cards. Not sure it would make sense for them to, in return, buy cards at that inflated price. There are opportunities. Not many, but there are. Cooter says, can you send my 61 Williams straight to SGC? Hey, how about that? It's already, you bought that Thursday night, shipped on Friday. How about that? My shipping time has gone faster. All the items from Thursday have been shipped. So yeah, my next eBay Live tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Got some 84 Donruss packs. I've got some 1980 Topps baseball packs. I've got hanger boxes of WWE Heritage. I've got 89 Donruss, 90 Donruss, 91 Fleer. I've got Donruss Baseball Champions. I've got ton of 84 Topps rack packs. I've got a case of 90 Donruss rack packs. I got 88 Topps Cello packs. I think I only have 186 Topps pack left. I've got some Upper Deck packs. I've got action packs from the first 2 years, 89, the regional issue, and the 90 action packed. What else? 2013 Topps. A lot of good stuff. So tonight, 7 p.m. Central, Wax Weekend on eBay Live. And tomorrow is a doubleheader, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And again, tomorrow night for Sunday Night Singles at 7 p.m. All right. Normally, I got to go ship. I don't. I got to go sort. Get ready for tomorrow's sales. I've got everything lined up for tonight. I think I am going to get for Sunday Night Singles. We're gonna run the Elway and Marino rookies, and these are actually in good condition. After I saw the Rice, I was pissed off. The Elway has a little bit of a corner issue. Marino, not sharp, but not terrible. And the centering is a little off on the Elway, but the Marino's nice centering. So I'll run the 84 tops tomorrow night, Sunday night singles. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, next Saturday is the Madison Card Show at the Alliant Energy Center. 256 tables, $5 admission. If you park in the Alliant Energy Center parking lot, they will charge you $8 to park. You don't have to park there. You can get dropped off. You can walk across the street, find parking at other places. I won't tell you where because I don't want you to get in trouble or towed. But I know there are some people that find alternative parking spots that may be available and not charge you $8. So, but parking beware. So that's next Saturday, Alliant Energy Center. That's what I had for today. Have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy that card show. Cooter's going to a card show. If anybody else is going to a card show, have a good time. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.